project is to develop a system that face and enhance the food security issues. Likewise, making less burden on synthetic fertilizer and incorporating the organic fertilizers to enhance the soil health as well with the passage of time. So here is the outline of my research. So first of all, maize ranked third major crop in Pakistan, and the area of cultivation is 1.41 million hectares, and the production we get is 8.46 million tons in all over the Pakistan. So I'm taking a legume crop, that is soybean, and it is important oil seed crop worldwide owing to its different crop diversity, and the protein content in this is 36 to 40%, while there is a crop that has high oil content as well, that is 18 to 22%. So the problem statement of my research is to differentiate between a monoculture crop or monoculture system that is basically a diversified system and in Pakistan, and most of the farmers are taking this system all over the year. Likewise, it has so many different things and disadvantages and as well as advantages. So here I point some, like the soil-borne diseases in a monoculture system where we only grow one crop at a time in the field. Likewise, it also causes soil erosion, because as a Pakistani, we consume a wheat crop, maize crop, and rice crop, and the cotton, and all are exhaustive crops, taking so much nutrient from the soil and leaving nothing in it. So the soil erosion is a major cause in this system. Likewise, nutrient use efficiency is reducing day by day, because as I proceed earlier, that most of the nutrients are for crops are taking the nutrients from the soil as well as the synthetic fertilizer we are applied in the soil. So adding nothing into the soil, because synthetic fertilizers are mobile or immobile in the soil, that's why. Likewise, water use efficiency is also reducing. Likewise, the biodiversity, because there is nothing adding in that soil or in that monoculture system. So that's why biodiversity is also reducing in this system. Soil functional microorganisms are decaying day by day, and it ultimately leaves nothing in the soil. As I also mentioned in this presentation, that Pakistani soil has less than 1% of the organic matter. That is likely nothing as it is. So that's why to enhance the organic matter in the soil and to make our soil strengthen, in the case of nutrients, we have to add something into the soil. Likewise, like we can add an organic matter, manures, or we can add an extra crop that can add something or some nutrients into the soil. For example, we can add a legume crop, and adding a crop in a major crop is basically a system that I am defending right now, is the intercropping system. So intercropping system is some word also defined as diversified cropping system, that not only reduce the soil-borne diseases but also reduce the soil erosion, because two of the crop taking the same piece of land as well as taking the same resources and strengthen the soil particles into it, intact the soil particles, and that's why the soil erosion is reducing in this diversified cropping system. Likewise, nutrient use efficiency is enhancing, because most of the legume crops, like a soybean crop, add atmospheric nitrogen into that soil, and that ultimately not only enhance the soil health in a case of nutrients, but also increase the nutrient use efficiency for the other crop, like as exhaustive crops, as I mentioned, like maize crop. Likewise, the biodiversity and soil functional microorganisms also enhance in that soil, because the diversified soil root system also make the soil more favorable conditions to the microorganisms to grow in that conditions. So the possible solution for this is the intercropping system, and here is some pictorial view that I mentioned in this slide. For example, this is the maize crop we are adding. Likewise, these two crops are soybean plants, and then again the maize crop. So this intercropping system is showing 2:2 ratio crop. Okay, okay, and as we know that maize to maize plant distance is 40 centimeter, and we're taking the maize to soybean plant distance is 60 centimeter. Likewise, again 40 centimeter, 60, and then again 40. Whereas in the monoculture system, we only grow legume crop or the other crop with the same distance. So we have a space in these two plants, we can grow a different and other plant in the system. So what is the cereal legume intercropping system, and how we can defend this system into and develop this system and adapt this system into our environment? So cereal based cropping systems, especially like maize, sorghum and millet, offer promises for intercropping of soybean owing to its flexibility of planting geometry and compatibility of growing season. Because soybean crop in Pakistan has two major seasons, like we also grow season as well as in the July season, and we have two major seasons to grow and incorporate this legume crop into our major crop. Likewise, we can add into maize crop or the soybean or the millets as well. Likewise, intercropping legume with cereals may be a mean of increasing soil nitrogen efficiency. As I mentioned earlier, that legume crop has the capacity to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the edible form of the plant. Likewise, intercropping of soybean enhanced nutrient like NPK uptake of maize by 8 to 10%, and that is held research by Raza et al. At 2020. So this is the concept of intercropping system that is happening above and underground. For example, we have the atmospheric nitrogen system that is fixed by the legume crop roots that have the nodules in it, and these nodules have biological nitrogen fixing bacteria that is called as rhizobia. These rhizobia not only convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the available or the nitrogen fixation form, so that the other plant like the compatible plant or the companion plant like maize can take this nitrogen. So this not only increase the efficiency of the nitrogen system in the maize crop, but also make a less burden on the farmer to add the synthetic fertilizers from the above ground. Likewise, if these legume crops have these leaves deteriorate into the soil, they can also add a crop residue, and hence the nitrogen in these leaves ultimately formed a mineral nitrogen that can be used by the companion crop. So the objective of this project is to quantify not only the nitrogen use efficiency of maize soybean intercropping, because these both crops have different nitrogen use patterns. Through integrated nitrogen management for enhancing not only the farm productivity but also the sustainability of the system, because our ultimate or a long-term goal is to make our soil healthy as well as sustainable in a sustainable form. So these are a design of my project where we use the plot area, and the location is Agronomic Research Farm, University of Agriculture, Faisalabad. Okay, so these majorly project has two different factors. In factor one, we take the sol maize, sol soybean, and maize soybean intercropping. And these are the major plots, while we also divide this major plot into subplots, and these subplots has the nitrogen source factor, where T1 represents the recommended nitrogen dose for both the crops. Like if at the sol crop, we adding a maize nitrogen recommendation that is to 10 kg per hectare. Likewise, the soybean nitrogen recommended nitrogen that is 30 kg per hectare. So we adding these adding these nitrogen sources separately in both the crops. Likewise, T2 representing the 75%, the reduction of 25% in the recommended nitrogen dose, and adding the 25% compost to make the nitrogen availability from this compost and making 100% overall. Likewise, T3 reduction of 50% of recommended nitrogen dose, that is from a synthetic fertilizer source, as well as adding the 50% of the compost to make this compatibly equals to 100. Likewise, T4 reducing further 25% recommended dose, as well as adding 75% compost with it. And in the T5, adding totally 100% compost or the organic fertilizer, and having nothing included synthetic fertilizer in this system. These are some yield parameters that I taken from maize crop as well as from the soybean crop to measure for both in the sol maize crop as well as when the maize is grown with the soybean. Likewise, in the soybean yield parameter also indicating these all the parameters are taken from the sol soybean. Likewise, also from the soybean that was intercropped with maize crop. So this is the pictorial or the graphical view where because I mentioned that I have 2 year study in this project, that is 2022 and 2023. So the grain yield in tons per hectare show a drastic change in both the year. Like as you see, the light green shade shows the sole maize cropping, whereas the darker green shows the maize when it is intercropped with soybean. This yield basically, or that this bar is not showing both the maize and the soybean collectively. This only shows the maize grain yield when intercropped with soybean. So it is subtracted from the soybean yield. So you can see that when there is a sole crop, we have a higher grain yield, whereas as you see in the intercropping system, a minor change in shows in the grain yield of the soybean crop in 100% recommended nitrogen dose. Whereas if you can see that during 75% recommended nitrogen dose and adding a 25% of organic fertilizer into that treatment, we see that not only the grain yield somewhat increasing in soil, but also in the intercropping system as well. It means that both maize when grown in the soil or in the intercropping system, having a high grain yield production as and reduce nothing in it. Likewise, in the 2023, there is similar ranges in the next year. Likewise, this the last bar shows the 100% compost level, which shows that if you can add 100% compost in the first year, the crop cannot take the nitrogen because this is not well decomposed into the soil and available to the plant in the first year. While if you see in the next year, 2023, the same land, when we add the compost again, the last year, the subsequent previous year compost adding somewhat nitrogen, release somewhat nitrogen from that system and add into the soil, that also taken from this by maize in both soil and maize crop. So you can also conclude that while year-wise adding the compost into the soil, you can have major change with the passage of time, like within 2 to 3 years, or maybe with after 10 15 years. Likewise, if you can see the biological yield that also measured in ton per hectares, you can see that the intercropping bars are more as compared to the soil maize crop, which is shows that the biomass yield is increased when maize crop is grown with the soybean. That only possible because the nitrogen itself enhance the biomass of the crop, and as soybean adding nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen into that soil and taken up by the maize crop as well. So the biological yield enhances in this system. Likewise, in the second year, also the biological yield of the intercrop maize is in more as compared to the sole crop. So here is the soybean yield when grown sole or when grown with the maize crop. So you can see that the grain yield is 2.5 tons per hectare when 100% recommended nitrogen dose of the soybean adding into the plot, whereas the intercrop has a less yield in it. This is because of the shading effect of the maize crop. As we all know that maize is a fast growing crop and it covers the soybean crop and shade when the soybean is in the flowering stage. So that's why during the flowering stage, soybean cannot take most of the sunlight from the from above because of the shade of the maize crop. So that's why somewhat of the grain yield is reduced in the soybean. But in the sole crop, we can get 2.5 tons, 2.5 4 tons per hectare. Likewise, this is the same pattern in the 2023 as well. Whereas the biological yield of the soybean is also enhanced in the soil as compared to the intercrop system. So this is the same pattern as grain yield or in the biological yield. Here are some intercropping indices where we can calculate how much intercropping is efficient for our system or not, or the combination of the two crops are beneficial for us or not. So we can conclude these things from different intercropping indices, like the land equivalent ratio, which shows that if a piece of land, like for example, 1 hectare of the land is compared by sole maize crop, whereas if we taken the same 1 hectare land and we grow maize as well as the soybean into the same land, how intercropping enhance that land use efficiency. So it's basically the blue bar showing the more than one LER, land equivalent ratio value, which shows that LER is beneficial for maize and soybean intercropping system. So that's why this combination is beneficial. Likewise, during the subsequent year 2023, intercropping system is also beneficial in this way. Whereas you can see that if we grow only a sole maize or the sole soybean, the values are less than 1. So the land use efficiency in the sole cropping is not beneficial as compared to the intercrop system. Similarly, if we see that 100% recommended nitrogen dose adding or the 75% nitrogen dose plus 25% compost shows the more advanced shows as compared to the 100% compost or the 50% of both the recommended nitrogen dose and 75% compost. So this is the drastic change we can see in a sense of nitrogen resources or the nitrogen combinations, likewise in the sense of intercropping system. So the next one is the competitive ratio. Like this shows that how much maize is more competitive or the soybean is competitive towards each other or the companion crops. So the blue bar is basically a maize competitive ratio. So this shows that maize is more competitive as compared to the soybean in a sense of taking nutrients from the soil as well as taking water from the soil, likewise the taking radiations or solar radiations from the sun. So maize is more competitive as compared to the soybean. And we also want this pattern because maize is our main crop and we cannot afford any reduction in the yield or the biological yield of the maize crop. Likewise, we can somewhat take an soybean for granted because it is just an intercrop that we can add it in that combination. So the 100% recommended nitrogen dose and as well as 75% nitrogen and 25% compost shows more competitive results as compared to the other treatments. Likewise, in the next year 2023, 75% nitrogen and 25% compost shows more competitive results as compared to the competitive ratio of the soybean crop. So here is the monetary advantage index, which shows that how much money we can get while in taking intercropping system in different nitrogen combinations. You can see that the line is more inclined towards 75% nitrogen and 25% compost in compared to 100% recommended nitrogen dose. This completely shows that if I can reduce the nitrogen from synthetic fertilizers, we can not only enhance the maize yield but also make a healthy environment for the soybean also to develop this system, because we know that soybean has less recommended nitrogen dose as compared to the maize one. So that's why. But totally the 100% compost adding shows minimum results or the loss towards the monetary advantage index at the end of the year. Likewise, 2023 also shows the same result where 100% nitrogen recommended nitrogen dose also shows the best result, as well as 75% nitrogen plus 25% compost also shows the similar or somewhat similar results in the system. So ultimately, the most beneficial or the most competitive one for us is the system productivity index, because ultimately we have to focus on our system, on our farm productivity, as well as on the soil sustainability. So you can see that the line is more inclined towards 75% recommended nitrogen dose from the synthetic source, likewise 25% from the organic source, and the similar results are shown in the 2023, which shows that the addition of organic matter not only enhance the system productivity but also enhance the soil sustainability and soil health with the passage of time. Likewise, this also shows that both this combination has more benefits towards maize soybean intercropping system, whereas only adding 100% compost is not beneficial unless it is beneficial for soil health. But 100% compost during the first or the second or the third year cannot shows the best result, because the compost is taking time like 4 to 5 years or maybe 6 to 7 or 10 years to decompose into the soil and adding their nutrients into the soil. So it takes time. we cannot say that 100% compost can show a best result within 1 to 2 years. That's not possible. So here are the conclusion of my project. The intercropping can lead to higher yield and increased benefits due to complementary growth patterns and efficient resource utilization between two crops. As you can see, both the crops have different canopy geometry, likewise different root system, as soybean is a tap root system, while maize has a shallow root system. So taking the water more efficiently with through maize, as well as if the water leaks down from the root zone of the maize crop, this water can be beneficial or uptake by the soybean. So what resource utilization is the best way in the intercropping system. Incorporating intercropping techniques and utilizing a combination of different nitrogen sources such as compost and synthetic fertilizers can be an effective strategy for improving not only crop yield but also soil health and promoting the sustainability in the agriculture. Continued research and field trials are essential to further optimize the nitrogen use selection, because we only optimize 5 different combinations, and in the future we can also optimize further nitrogen combinations or more close results. We can get more close results with this. Application rates and the timing of maximizing farm productivity and sustainability in cereal soybean intercropping system. Here are some references, and thank you so much listening me, and taking my work with you guys is really honorable.